You're a billion-dollar car company. You've got investors throwing money at you, millions of people hyped for your next vehicle, and the automotive world watching your every move. Then you release that car, the one that doesn't just fail. It becomes a meme, a warning, a cautionary tale whispered in boardrooms. Today, we're diving into 6 vehicles that didn't just flop, they took their entire companies down with them. And trust me, some of these stories from 2025 are absolutely wild. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Carretera, where we talk about the cars that make history and the ones that make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Before we start, if you're into automotive chaos and industry drama, you're gonna love this one. So hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing? All right, let's roll. Let's kick things off with the elephant in the room, or should I say the angular steel wedge in the room, the Tesla Cybertruck. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Tesla's not dead. You're right, but the Cybertruck, it's doing more damage to Tesla's reputation than any competitor ever could. Remember when Elon Musk unveiled this thing back in 2019? The internet went absolutely nuts. Love it or hate it, everyone was talking about it. Fast forward to 2025, and the Cybertruck has become less of a revolutionary vehicle and more of a rolling PR disaster. First, let's talk numbers. Musk promised Tesla would be cranking out 250,000 Cybertrucks per year by 2025. Guess how many they're actually making? We're halfway through the year, and they've barely hit a fraction of that target. Why? Because nobody wants to buy one at $80,000 to $100,000, especially when the thing has more recalls than a defective toaster. And those recalls? Ah, boy. We're talking about exterior panels literally falling off while you're driving, windshield wipers that just decide to quit, trim pieces flying off like confetti. There have been at least 4 major recalls affecting over 11,000 trucks. For a vehicle that's supposed to be the future of pickup trucks, it sure feels stuck in the past when it comes to quality control. But here's where it gets really dark. Just recently, Tesla got hit with lawsuits over a fatal crash. 3 college students died because, get this, the Cybertruck's doors trapped them inside during a fire. The electronic door system failed, and there was no functional manual release that people could actually find and use in an emergency. Families are now suing Tesla, calling the Cybertruck a death trap. That's not hyperbole, that's a quote from the actual lawsuit. Tesla even had to halt deliveries at one point because owners kept complaining about metal panels falling off. Imagine spending 6 figures on a truck and having it literally fall apart on the highway. And the worst part, some of these were brand new 2025 models, straight from the factory. Quality control? Never heard of her. The Cybertruck was supposed to cement Tesla's dominance in the truck market. Instead, it's become a meme, a symbol of overpromising and under-delivering. Tesla's brand image has taken a massive hit, and while the company isn't going under, the Cybertruck might just be the beginning of a very expensive lesson. Okay, so Tesla's got problems, but at least they're still standing. Our next company, not so much. And honestly, if you're enjoying this automotive carnage, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Trust me, it gets worse from here. Meet the Fisker Ocean, a $70,000 electric SUV that was supposed to be the next big thing in sustainable luxury. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Fisker Inc. filed for bankruptcy in June 2024, and by 2025, the aftermath has been absolutely brutal. Thousands of Ocean owners are now stuck with what are essentially very expensive paperworks. No software updates, no factory support, no cloud connectivity. Imagine dropping 60 grand on a high-tech EV and then the company just ghosts you. That's the Fisker Ocean experience in a nutshell. Here's the kicker. Hendrik Fisker, the founder, basically knew the company was toast but kept pretending there was hope. Meanwhile, he was liquidating assets faster than you can say Chapter 11. The company tried to save itself by slashing prices, up to 39% off in some cases. But even that wasn't enough. Production stopped, the factory in Austria went silent, and Fisker laid off 15% of its workforce. But let's talk about why the Ocean failed in the first place. This wasn't just a case of bad timing or tough competition. The Ocean had serious, fundamental problems. Build quality was all over the place. Software was buggy. Reviews from major media outlets were brutal. And then there were the recalls. Lots of recalls. The Ocean was supposed to be the first of 3 models in Fisker's all-electric lineup. It ended up being the only model and the last one. By May 2025, Ocean owners were cut off from connected features entirely. No over-the-air updates, no remote diagnostics, nothing. It's like buying a smartphone and then the manufacturer shutting down all the servers. Some owners have banded together to form the Fisker Owners Association, basically trying to keep their cars functional through sheer willpower and community support. But here's the reality. When a car company goes bankrupt, the owners are the ones left holding the bag. And in this case, it's a very expensive, very broken bag. Fisker's story is a harsh reminder that in the EV world, it's not enough to have a cool design and big promises. You need solid engineering, reliable software, and, oh yeah, money. Lots of money. Fisker ran out of all three. All right, so we've covered a Tesla disaster and a total EV bankruptcy. But our next company, they didn't just fail, they self-destructed in the most spectacular way possible. VinFast. If you're not familiar with the name, don't worry. Most people aren't. And after the disaster that was the VF8, most people want to forget it exists. VinFast is a Vietnamese automaker that tried to break into the US market with the VF8, an electric SUV that was supposed to challenge Tesla, Hyundai, and everyone else. Instead, it became one of the most universally panned vehicles in recent memory. The problems started immediately. Build quality? Terrible. Software, buggy and unresponsive. Driving dynamics? Journalists described it as unrefined and unpleasant. One review called it deeply flawed. Another said it felt like a car that wasn't ready for production. And they were right. VinFast's strategy was to expand aggressively into international markets before they had a solid product. They spent millions on marketing, celebrity endorsements, and flashy reveals. But when customers actually got their hands on the VF8, reality set in. The car was bad, really bad. Recalls started piling up. Customers complained about everything from braking issues to infotainment glitches. The company's credibility, already shaky, completely collapsed. Sales tanked, losses mounted, and VinFast's dreams of becoming a global EV powerhouse evaporated. Here's the thing. VinFast isn't technically dead yet, but the damage is done. The VF8 destroyed any goodwill the brand might have had, and now they're stuck trying to recover from one of the worst product launches in automotive history. When your car becomes shorthand for how not to enter a market, you know you've got problems. Remember Lordstown Motors? Yeah. Most people don't. And there's a good reason for that. The Lordstown Endurance was supposed to be America's answer to the electric pickup truck, a homegrown EV startup, taking on the big guys with a tough utilitarian truck designed for fleet sales. It was a great story, except the truck was terrible and the company went bankrupt before they could even make it work. Lordstown Motors managed to produce a few hundred units before everything fell apart. Production delays, reliability issues, financial mismanagement. It was a perfect storm of failure. The Endurance had potential, but potential doesn't matter when you can't actually build the damn thing. By the time Lordstown filed for bankruptcy, the Endurance was already a punchline. Another failed American EV startup, another cautionary tale about over-promising and under-delivering. The company's gone. The trucks are rare collector's items now, not because they're good, but because so few were ever made. If you want to talk about over-promising, let's talk about Faraday Future. The FF91 was announced with all the hype in the world. It was going to be the fastest, most luxurious, most technologically advanced EV ever made. And then nothing, for years. Production delays turned into production fantasies. The company burned through cash, leadership was a revolving door, and the FF91 became a meme before it even hit the road. By the time a handful of units actually made it to customers, nobody cared anymore, the moment it passed. Faraday Future is still technically alive, but barely. The FF91 was supposed to be their flagship, their proof of concept, their ticket to legitimacy. Instead, it became a symbol of vaporware and broken promises. The brand's reputation is in shambles, and it's unlikely they'll ever recover. And now, for our final entry, Jaguar. Oh, Jaguar. In late 2024, Jaguar announced a complete rebrand. They were going all in on electric vehicles, ditching their classic lineup, and positioning themselves as an ultra-luxury EV brand. Prices starting at $127,000. Target audience, younger, wealthier, more diverse buyers. Expected customer retention from their existing base, just 15%. Yeah, you read that right. Jaguar basically said, we don't care about our current customers, we're going after someone else. The rebrand itself was, controversial. The promotional campaign featured bold colors, loud fashion, and absolutely zero cars. The internet lost its mind. People called it woke, confusing, and corporate suicide.
Even advertising professionals were divided. But here's the real problem. It's 2025 and Jaguar is in free fall. In April 2025, Jaguar sold just 49 cars across all Europe. 49. That's a 97.5% drop from the previous year. For context, BMW, Mercedes, and Audi each sold between 50 and 75,000 units in the same period. Jaguar discontinued iconic models like the F-Type and XF without having viable replacements ready. Their first new EV is supposed to launch soon, but after the disaster of the rebrand, who's even paying attention anymore? The company fired the advertising agency that orchestrated the rebrand, which is a pretty clear sign that they know they screwed up. But the damage is done. Jaguar alienated its core audience, failed to attract new buyers, and turned itself into a case study of what not to do during a brand transformation. So there you have it. 6 cars, 6 companies, 6 cautionary tales about ambition, hubris, and spectacularly bad decisions. The Cybertruck, still dragging Tesla's reputation through the mud, the Fisker Ocean, leaving owners stranded, the VinFast VF8, a masterclass in how not to enter a market, the Lordstown Endurance, dead on arrival, the Faraday Future FF91, vaporware made real, and Jaguar, committing brand suicide in real time. So the lesson here is, it doesn't matter how much hype you generate, how much money you raise, or how revolutionary you claim to be. If the car sucks, the company suffers. And sometimes, it doesn't just suffer, it dies. If you made it this far, drop a comment and let me know which of these failures shocked you the most. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into automotive disaster, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got more car industry chaos coming your way. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Carretera, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe out there, and maybe avoid buying any of these cars.